In 1980, the People's Republic of China enacted the one-child policy as a response to an increasing population. The government hoped that by limiting the number of children their citizens were allowed to bear, they could raise the quality of life for all and become a more modern country. This policy has had startling, unintended side effects. In a culture where tradition values men over women, parents began proactively trying for sons. Daughters were often aborted, killed, hidden from the public, or abandoned. Over the last 20 years, orphanages have become the home to countless daughters that have been forsaken by their parents who want to try again for a son. The one-child policy has evolved in recent years to accommodate for this widespread desire for male heirs, yet orphanages are still finding girls on their doorsteps, in the market, and on the roadside. China, a fascinating country with thousands of years of history, traditions, and culture. While many in the West may limit their Chinese experience to history books, films, and travel within the country, thousands of Americans are opening up their homes and hearts to young Chinese girls. As these parents raise their Chinese-born children in the United States, a unique cultural identity is formed for both the parents and children that synthesizes the East and the West. As parents raise their Chinese children, they will undoubtedly encounter sensitive questions about their daughter's time in China and their ethnic identities. Having a keen understanding of the social climate in the People's Republic is important to understanding the situation that has caused an overwhelming number of females to be available for international adoption. The experience of adopting an international child is quite different from adopting an American child. Not only do applicants have to prove their parenting skills, but they also have to show increased cultural awareness. Hawaii International Child was kind enough to explain the adoption and screening process for American parents.
We're actually looking for people who are open-minded, people who are committed to providing a loving, nurturing, and stable home for a child. We're looking for families who want to learn about the Chinese culture and are willing to share the Chinese culture with their child. We're looking for people who are just really want to learn about good parenting and people who are positive about adoption.
Love, acceptance, and honesty are important traits for any parents, but are especially important for couples that adopt Chinese children. From the moment they are adopted, parents begin explaining to their children about their birthplace and their native culture. While they may not understand, such honesty will prevent confusion as the child matures.
What did we do? We went to China and there was Jordan. And you were crying. Yeah? Because you were scared. Yeah? Yeah.
Parents also make an effort to introduce Chinese culture to their daughters' lives in the form of decorations in their bedroom, books about Chinese adoption, Chinese New Year festivals, and Mandarin language classes. Growing up appreciating American culture as well as their native culture is important for children as they reach adolescence and begin to question their identities. Professionals are just beginning to identify the unique social anxiety that these children will face as they mature. Zuo Ya, a Chinese citizen and Mandarin teacher in Hawaii, recently had such an experience with an adopted Chinese girl.
我教的这个女孩吧，她是3岁的时候，被这个美国妈妈从中国收养的，然后她现在已经9岁了，她已经到美国6年了，她现在说一口非常流利的英语，但是只会一点点汉语。她是一个怎么说呢？平时你看她是一个非常快乐、非常健康的一个小女孩，而且她是特别喜欢玩足球 ，play soccer。她特别喜欢吃这个日本的食物。她如果你不跟她提中国这2个字的话，她什么时候都是非常快乐的。但是，如果你跟她说中国，她就会有一点不高兴。就是说，有一天我给她上课的时候，她妈妈带来另外一个女孩，说让他们俩一块儿学中文。那一个女孩她是从中国来的， 然后我的开头是这样的，我说你们喜欢 shopping 吗？他们俩都非常高兴说喜欢。然后我说，在中国有很多东西非常便宜，也许有一天你长大了要回到中国，你就可以买很多东西。那你买东西时候怎么说呢？结果这个小女孩立马用英语告诉我，她说她不喜欢中国，她也没有想过她要去中国。我当时很奇怪，我说我的意思是只想让他们觉得去中国买东西是一件快乐的事情，让他们学怎么去买东西，用汉语怎么说。结果她的回答是，然后旁边那个另外一个女孩吧，就说啊，你是从中国来的。你也是中国人，所以你应该学中文。他立马就说我不是中国人，我不学中文。然后就本来是一直很快乐的，他就马上就脸上就没有表情，他一直低着头也不说话了。那节课我上的是非常糟糕。
Adoption organizations and universities around the United States are now dedicating resources to study cases like Joy Ya's student. As of May 2006, the Evan B. Donaldson Adoption Institute was conducting a study which will examine factors that contribute to the development of healthy identities of internationally and transculturally adopted adults and relevant services available to multicultural families. Such research is important to understanding the issues young adopted children may face as they mature. As adopted children reach adolescence, they will face unique issues when trying to shape their cultural identity. While research in this area is thus far limited, professionals can help prepare parents for the questions and concerns their teenagers may face.
I think for parents to deal with issues, they probably want to be more prepared for those questions coming from their adopted children. So for instance, if parents are Caucasian parents, probably they want to explore some culture issues about, let's say, their Chinese adopted children. And they also want them to, for instance, learn some Chinese and try to communicate with the child when children have some questions about the ethnicity, about the culture, where they originally come from. So kind of like a knowledge-based expansion for parents to deal with the issues.
In March of 2006, the New York Times published an article about the thousands of adopted Chinese children nearing adolescence. They stated, as the oldest of the adopted children move through their teenage years, they are beginning, independently and with a mix of enthusiasm and trepidation, to explore their identities. Their experiences offer hints at the journeys yet to come for thousands of Chinese children who are now becoming part of American families each year. Hawaii, in particular, is a wonderful location for Chinese adoption, as the local culture is significantly influenced by Asian traditions. With so many diverse faces, adopted Chinese children may not feel as different from their families and friends. Such a location will help parents and their children explore their ethnic identities. As diverse as Hawaii is, families shed their traditional cultural roles and begin to form new, distinct ones. Caucasian parents with strong Chinese ties and adopted Chinese children even begin to feel that they too are Asian.
I can't see myself, but I look around and all I see is Asian, so I kind of feel like, well, I'm an Asian anyway, so, you know, I mean, the only time I see myself is to look in a mirror, and so the rest of the time, so I don't feel that there's really a big change. I look at my wife, I look at my daughter, oh, okay, Asian, you know.
While further studies must be done to completely assess the cultural development of these adopted children, it is evident that they are happy growing up in America. Their lives are filled with love and attention, something that unfortunately their native country was unable to provide at their birth. Kay Ann Johnson writes in her book, Wanting a Daughter, Needing a Son, the ancient Chinese story of the mulberry insect child. The literal meaning of Minglingzi is mulberry insect child, but the term is used to refer to adopted children. The usage derived from the belief that a certain type of wasp took the young of the mulberry insect and transformed them into young wasps, making them its own children. Such a belief suggests that the love and support of parents are the true determinants to a child's future. With international adoption, perhaps the mulberry insect experience is reciprocal. The parents welcome the child into their lives and shape her identity with American and Hawaiian culture, while the child retains a bit of her ethnicity and culturally enhances the life of her parents. While academics continue to study the one-child policy and its unintended consequences, American parents and Chinese children are finding each other and forming loving and happy lives together. The cultural identities that are being formed by this unique synthesis of the East and West are truly amazing.
听见冬天的离开，我在某年某月醒过来。我想，我等，我期待，未来却不能因此安排。阴天傍晚，车窗外，未来有一个人在等待。向左，向右，向前看，爱要拐几个弯才来。我遇见谁，会有怎样的对白？我等的人，他在多远的未来？我听见风来自地